rid of them all that way.
All managed, right, all done.
Got it?
Thank you.
All right, see you in a bit, guys. So I'm muting you all now. If you want to talk to me, ask me in the chat button at the bottom or wave at me. I can't see you all at once. I've got to swipe through. So we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. I'm going to shuffle backwards over to my mat. So I want you to either lay down or sit, okay? I don't mind what you do. If you want to sit on something, so a bolster is like a nice option, or something, a cushion to sit on. Sit cross-legged if you want, sit with your legs out. If you have the luxury of a chair in the room with you, then by all means sit on the chair if sitting on the floor is not quite something you are ready for just yet. Okay, all right. If you are lying, you might want to lie on your back with your knees bent, or you could lie in with a Supta Baddha Konasana leg, so diamond-shaped legs, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. You could put something underneath the back of the thighs, the edges of the thighs, if you want to support your legs that way. But having said all of that, I don't mind how you start your practice. You're in the comfort of your own home. And that is an absolute delightful luxury, in my opinion. Because, okay, yeah, you can, there is an element of being able to see each other, but ultimately you're going to develop this really lovely home practice, or at least, an emphasis on practicing at home that you might never have had before. You might have only ever found your yoga when you came to class, when you left your home, when you took yourself off to wherever the venue. And practicing at home is such a wonderful habit to establish, because then you have it there at your disposal for whenever or whatever day of the week, whatever time of the day, you can just fit in, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes of something. And so what we're going to do today is maybe some of the somethings that you could fit in. We're going to start off with some Ujjayi breath, and we're going to finish with a breathing exercise before we come into Shavasana at the end. And this is designed, in essence, to enable you to calm down, to soothe your nervous system, to soothe your mind, to encourage you to switch off. And so that's what our priority is for the next hour or so, is making you the priority, switching off, shutting the door to your family, shutting the door to whatever it is that has been keeping you busy all day long, and just taking some time out, pressing the time out button for yourselves. Now, if you're sitting, maybe take your hands, you could have them in your lap, you could have them on your knees. If you're lying on your back, you could put your hands on your abdomen somewhere, or just rest them out by your sides with your palms turned up towards the ceiling. And then, whatever shape, whatever your spine is doing, allow your spine to soften slightly. For those of you that are sitting, allow your body weight to sink into your sit bones. For those of you that are lying, allow your pelvis to rest, your shoulder blades to take the body weight of your upper body. For those of you that are sitting, allow your spine to be light, your shoulders to be relaxed. And close your eyes. And start to breathe in and out through your nose. Breathing down into your abdomen, but not forcing the breath low down, and certainly not forcing the abdomen to expand or contract, but more being aware of the very lowest part of your ribs, where your diaphragm lies across, and sort of containing, creating a sort of split in the abdomen between the upper and the lower regions. And if you think about your diaphragm as being this wonderful dome shape, And as you breathe in, the dome of the muscle flattens and allows more space in your upper body. And then as you exhale, the muscle contracts again and it lifts up, it returns back to its domed shape. So when your eyes are closed now, I want you to think about that happening and think about it being in a really lovely circular shape. So we often think about the diaphragm as being across the front of the body, but it isn't. It sort of literally slices you in half. And so as you breathe in and the diaphragm flattens, it starts to push the digestive system down. And as you breathe out and it returns to its dome shape, it takes the digestive system back up with it. And so this awareness, if you like, of what this muscle is doing, it's not only helping you to breathe, but it's also helping your digestive system to function in a very soothing, very gentle way. And so therefore, when we work on our breath, when we become more aware of our breath, we're helping lots of the different functions within the body on a physical level, as well as just taking some time to close the eyes, to be aware of the breath, and to gently slow the nervous systems down. So you've been breathing in and out through your nose for a while. I want you to imagine that your breath is making, on the inhalation, the sound of sa. Okay, so S-A, sa. And on the exhalation, I want you to breathe out ha, so H-A. So it's sa on the way in and ha on the way out. And you want your breath to be slightly audible. You don't want to force the inhalation or exhalation or force the nature of the sound, but just encouraging it so that you are a little bit more audible. It should sound similar to if you held up a shell against your ear and you were listening to the sound of the ocean. Okay. So we're going to do this a couple more times, just for maybe a minute or two longer. Breathing in and breathing out. And then for these last few breaths, this is more tricky if you are lying down. If you're sitting, you might want to try this. For these last few breaths, I want you to drop your chin towards your chest and aim to bring the chin as close towards the chest and indeed the upper part of the rib cage and where the collarbones meet. See if you can bring the chin into that region. Please don't force this, don't overstretch the neck. Remember how we have to move the neck very slowly in order not to just let it go into a spasm or to strain it unnecessarily. So allow the chin to fall towards the chest and carry on with your sa and ha breath. Carry on thinking about your diaphragm. But now what you may have noticed that with your chin a little bit closer towards your chest is that the rib cage is able to expand a little bit more. So I want you to think about allowing that to happen, allowing the rib cage all the way around, front, back and sides, to breathe in and out and expand and work a little bit into the intercostal muscles that weave their way through your ribs like a basket. Okay, so we're going to take 2 more breaths. And then on the next inhalation, when it comes, take your time, but slowly lift the head. And if the eyes were closed, gently begin to open them. Lovely. And then without kind of disturbing yourself, without letting in too much of the external world, I would like you to come and lay down, please. You don't need a cushion. You don't need anything underneath you, but you might want your strap to hand. So make sure that you can reach that, please. Lovely. Okay, so lying down, please, with your knees bent. And I'll ask you to put your hands down by your sides and walk your heels in towards your body. And just for a moment, flatten your lower back into the floor. Then, taking an inhalation, you're going to lift your hips upwards towards the ceiling, pressing into the soles of your feet, the chest coming towards the chin this time instead of the chin towards the chest. Then on the exhalation, gently and slowly lowering the hips back down. So we're working with the breath into a Setu Bandha, into bridge pose. So the heels are in towards the body. You're breathing in and lifting the hips upwards towards the sky. Make sure that the knees and the ankles are a little bit apart. Breathing out to gently lower down, coming all the way down. And we're going to keep going. So breathing in, the hips are lifting, soles of the feet pressing. And we're going really gently with this, because this is the first time we've really moved the body so far tonight. And so I want you to take it easy, go at your own pace. Please don't do anything in tonight's practice that doesn't feel comfortable for you. If it causes you any discomfort or strain, then please adjust what you're doing. Please ask. Please stop if that's the case for you. Listen always to what your body is trying to communicate with you. It's really vital. Think about moving with your breath and listening to the soft inhalations and exhalations. See if you can retain some of that sa and ha quality to your breath as you move. Because this is always going to be very, very soothing for the mind. Gives you something to focus on instead of allowing any stories, any thoughts to creep into your awareness. Good job. So you're going to do maybe one more of these, just slowly and gently coming up and down. And then I'd like you, when you've come down, to maybe slide your feet away from you down the mat and take the arms alongside your ears and make your body really long now. Have a nice big long stretch out, fingertips reaching, maybe toes pointing, maybe heels lengthening. And then let's leave the left leg where it is and scoop the right leg in towards you and give the right leg just a little bit of a squeeze in towards your chest. Then when you're ready, send the right leg away and take the arms up and over the head again, lengthening the body, make space on the abdomen. And then as you breathe out, hug the left knee in, give it a little squeeze in towards the chest. Relax the shoulders, keep the right leg nice and long. Then breathing in, arms sweep up and over, leg lengthens away. And then we'll hug in both knees. So use your tummy muscles here. If it's too strong, keep alternating to right and left side if you prefer. Squeeze both knees in if you can. And then lengthening both legs away. Arms coming up alongside the ears, reaching. And then taking the arms, just the arms, back down by your sides. Okay. So then we're going to gather the knees upwards towards the chest again. And put the hands on the kneecaps. And we're moving the knees separately. They're not moving together, but I want you to draw a circle in the air with your knees. So maybe one knee is doing a clockwise circle and the other knee is doing an anti-clockwise circle, whatever it works best for you. Just gently moving the thigh bone inside the hip socket. So make these big or small dependent upon your mobility and your comfort. And then do some circles in the other direction, please. So just sweeping the knees. That's lovely. And then coming back to the center, keep your right knee where it is and slide your left leg away from you down towards the end of the mat. Then take the right leg straight up to the ceiling and stretch upwards through the heel. So press the heel high, long, lengthen the back of the leg. Then I'd like you to bend the knee a little bit and take the strap around, or your dressing gown belt or whatever it is that you grabbed hold of, loop it around the ball of your foot. And if it feels too much, you can always bend the left knee. So just let the left leg be comfortable, it doesn't have to be straight. We're going to do a couple of these where we breathe in and take the right leg a little bit closer towards your body. And as you breathe out, move it away. So breathing in, back of the body flat onto the floor, lengthening. Breathe out, gently move the leg. So this time, as you breathe in, bring the leg in towards you to your own measure, and then hold the strap with just your right hand and put your left hand in onto the top of your left hip, just to maintain stability for your pelvis. When you're ready, keeping the leg close in towards your chest to begin with, allow the leg to open out wide to the side. Left hip stays stable, right leg begins to lower down. Now it doesn't have to come anywhere near the floor, but you do want to feel a stretch on the inside of the right thigh. Keeping the back of the left hip close to the ground if you can. It will want to roll away. I want you to try and stop it. From here, turn your head to the left. Take your left arm alongside your ear and reach your left fingertips in the opposite direction away from you along the mat, or sort of alongside your ear. Sorry, not very good descriptions here. And then if you like, slide your left leg away from you down towards the end of the mat. So you're creating length along the left-hand side of your body, but you're opening up into the right hip and the right inner thigh. So can be strong. You can always back out of this by leaving the left side of the body out of this equation. Okay, so then we're going to gently bring the left hand back down by your side, the palm onto the hip, bend the left knee and bring the right leg back up to the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a stretch for the piriformis now. So the left leg does need to lengthen away from you down towards the end of the mat again. Hold the strap with your left hand and put your left fingers into your right fingers into your right hip crease. So we've swapped over, we swapped our hand position. Now this time your right hip must stay on the ground, and you're taking your leg just across enough so that you start to feel maybe a little bit of a stretch down the outer right thigh along the IT band, but maybe also across the back of the hip slightly. Obviously work to your own pace, work to your own measure. Don't do anything that is going to force your body to be uncomfortable. Okay, now gently back out of this stretch. So you might not have moved very far at all. Now you are going to move far. So I want you to this time take a twist. The right leg is going to come across towards the left-hand side of your mat. Now, obviously, I've got the wall here, so my leg's not gone any further than that unless I move. So make sure you've got space and allow yourself to roll into a twist. Now, if your foot comes down to the floor, brilliant. If it doesn't, don't worry, you've got your strap there to give it a bit of support. You can roll over onto your left side, but do try to keep your right shoulder on the mat, or at least as close to the mat as you possibly can. Good job. Just take another breath here. Some really nice twists going on. Breathe into the side of your body. Allow the body to lengthen. Allow the obliques this time. So the muscles that kind of crisscross the abdomen, allow them to get a bit of movement, a bit of stretch. And then when you're ready to breathe in, bring the leg back up towards the ceiling. And then let go of the strap for a minute. Hug the knee in towards your chest. Very nice. And then you can slide your leg away from you, or have the knee bent, right knee bent, and we'll take the left leg up into the air. So let's start by just pressing the left heel up towards the ceiling, just so that you get in a sort of an idea before you're using your strap, but just an idea of what it feels like to have the left leg in the sky towards the ceiling. Because obviously once we incorporate the strap, we're using the upper body, we're using the arms, and we take a little bit of the emphasis away. So it's kind of nice to see what our range of mobility and what our leg strength is like when it's working on its own. Then you can take the belt and loop it around the top of the ball of the foot, and then hold it with both hold the belt with both hands. Let the shoulders relax, let the arms be soft. And you're going to breathe in, taking the leg a little bit closer towards you, and breathe out, move it away. So we're going to keep going, breathing in, the leg comes closer, breathe out, the leg moves away. Then this time the leg, breathe in, you're going to bring it in towards you, and keep it there. Hold the strap with just the left hand, put the right hand onto the right hip, and allow the left leg to open out wide to the side. Okay, so just come to a position that feels comfortable for you. Don't overstretch, don't overdo it. Try and keep the left leg straight if you can. If you want to, you can slide your right foot away, and you can take your right arm alongside your ear and reach the fingertips in one direction, the right heel in the other, so you've got this lovely long space along the right hand side, but the left leg opening out wide. Just take another couple of breaths here. Good job. Love seeing all these feet in the air. Okay, so we're going to then inhale, bring the leg up towards the ceiling. Swap hands, please. So you're holding the strap with the right hand, and tuck the left fingertips into the left hip crease to remind you to keep the hip down. Then just slightly take the leg across until maybe you feel a stretch down the outer thigh, or maybe across the back of the hip. You might not need to move it very far for this. I'd be very surprised if you can take it very far, in fact. You shouldn't really be needing to move it very far. Keep the left hip down. Then allow yourself to roll into the twist. So completely let the leg come across towards the right hand side. And you can play around with where you have your left arm. You could turn your gaze here, maybe turn it away from the direction that the foot has gone in, and breathe into the left-hand side of the body. And think about all this lovely space and this lovely release that we're taking. Do try to keep the left shoulder on the ground. If it has rolled away from the floor, please don't force it back down. Just have the intention that it moves a little bit closer. Good job. Okay, let's bring the leg back up to the ceiling. And then I'd like you to let go of the strap. Hug the left knee in. Hug the right knee in. Take the arms to the inside of your thighs. Dorsiflex the ankles, so that means they look like right angles. And take the hands down to the outside edges of your feet and see if you can come into happy baby pose. You might find that putting something underneath your head helps here. So a little bit of height, a cushion or a blanket underneath the head can make this a little bit more comfortable. You could also use your strap here. So if you struggle to find your feet, use your strap, loop it around the balls of both feet and just use it to create a little bit more arm length, if you like. Encourage, if you're using your hands on your feet, encourage the knees down towards the floor by gently pulling on the feet and looking for a little bit more openness into the hips. Very nice. Then for those of you that want to, you could maybe hook around your big toes with your first 2 fingers. And we're going to straighten one leg out to the side slightly, like a diagonal, like a V shape. And then bring that leg back into a happy baby position. And then straighten the other leg out wide to the side. And bring this leg back in. And then we'll do both legs. So open both legs into a V shape if you can. Bring them as close towards the floor or towards your torso as you can. You've got something on your head that's underneath your head, that's fine. Good job. And then soften the knees. Bring the legs back in towards each other. You might just want to have a hug in towards the chest with the knees. And then slide the feet away and take the arms alongside the ears and make lots of lovely length, lots of lovely space. Good. And then bending the knees and gently releasing the arms. And rolling over onto your side and coming up. And let's come over onto all fours, please. All right, so positioning your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And we'll start with just a little bit, we'll just take a little bit of cow pose. So you're going to tilt your pelvis so your sit bones lift, your tailbone lifts. You look forwards, but your navel drops. And then turn into a cat pose. So as you breathe out, let the head drop, let the tailbone point downwards, lift the navel upwards. Breathe in to come into cow pose. And you can do this with your Saha breath again. And then breathe out and round the body into a cat stretch. Breathing in again, into cow, just gently creating some length along the front body. And breathing out. Good job. Okay, coming back to a neutral position. And we're going to take a little bit of side plank. So I want you to leave your left knee in the position that it's in, but take your left foot out to the side of the mat slightly. So you've got, this is only being done to give you a little bit of balance. Your right leg is then going to stretch straight down to the end of the mat, and you're going to turn your toes so they point to the right. So you're resting on the inside edge of your right foot. Your left hand, I'd like you to take that up to the sky, so straight up towards the ceiling. And we're going to breathe in here. And as you breathe out, gently lower the hand and thread it underneath the left arm out to the left-hand side, so a bit of spread for the shoulder blades. Then breathe in, bring the hands all the way back up to the ceiling. And we're going to stay here, and I'd like you to float your right leg off of the floor. So draw the navel in slightly, lift the pelvic floor a little bit, find a really nice, lovely, long balance here. For those that want to, drop the head slightly and lower the arm alongside your ear to make a lovely, long length along the right-hand side. Good. And then we're going to lower the right leg, lower the right hand, and come straight onto the other side. So take the right foot out to the side, slide the left foot down to the end of the mat, inside edge of the foot on the floor. Breathe in and take the left hand up to the ceiling, look up towards your thumb. Breathe out, thread the arm underneath the right arm out to the side to open across the back of the shoulder blades. Then breathe in, take the hand up to the sky again. Maybe look up, maybe look to the side, depending upon where your balance is. Engage your pelvic floor, draw your lower abdominals in, and gently lift the left leg. Drop the head slightly if you want, turn the palm and lower the left arm alongside the ear and reach into the heel, reach into the fingertips, put loads of lovely space and length along your body. Take another breath here, see if you can maintain the Saha breath. And then lower the leg and lower the arm. And bring the knee back onto the mat. Good job. Very nice. Take your right foot forwards, please, towards the top of your mat. Now, for those of you that need it, you could double up the edge of the mat underneath your left knee so that you've got a little bit of extra comfort there. You could use a blanket or something like that underneath the knee. You're going to be moving your hands a little bit with this. So we're going to rock the right knee forwards as though you're taking a little bit of a lunge. And then you're going to lean back, aiming to keep the back of the hips fairly level. And the hands might walk closer towards you, and you might lift your right toes off of the floor for a nice long stretch down the back of the right leg. Then you're coming forward, so the hands move with you here. You're coming forwards into your lunge, front of the left hip's getting a bit of a stretch here. And then backwards, right toes lift, back of the pelvis lowers. If you lower your upper body, you'll get more of a stretch. If you need less of a stretch, lift up higher. So come forwards again, one more time. And then backwards, leaning back, right toes lifting. Then coming forwards, everyone all right? Good, and we're going to position the right knee above the right ankle, and you're going to inhale and lift up both arms towards the ceiling. Point the tailbone slightly towards the ground. Lift up through the fingertips, through the pinky side of the fingers, but keep the lower ribs in. Do not allow them to splay out too much. And breathe here. Find your Saha breath whilst you're here. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more breath. And on your exhalation, bowing down, hands come to the ground. Tuck under the left toes behind you. Lift the left knee off of the floor and step the right foot back to the end of the mat. Maybe come into a plank position first of all. So the shoulders are over the wrists. The hips are as high as the shoulders and the heels press back. Just draw the navel in slightly, kind of find some stability in the abdomen. Then let's bend the knees a little bit, take the bottom backwards and up, let the head drop in between the arms, press into the tops of the palms, and maybe come into, because this is your first down dog, maybe just have a little pedal with the heels, a little dance of the hips from side to side. Very nice. And then let's float both knees down onto the ground. And we'll do the same little thing on the other side. So let's take the left foot forwards. All right, pad out the right knee if you need a bit of extra comfort here. And then as soon as you are ready, leaning forwards for a stretch on the front of the right hip, walking the hands back as you lean back, left toes lift, hips stay level, but lower your upper body to get it close to the top of the left thigh. And then coming forwards when you're ready, take care with the right knee. And back. And forwards. Last one back this time. And then when you come forwards, you'll come up onto the thigh, make sure the knee is above the ankle. Bring the torso up, kind of point the tailbone down slightly so there's a little bit of lift to the front of the hips. And then both arms can come up. Now, if you have high or low blood pressure, you may prefer to keep the hands in front of your heart. You might want to have them on your hips for stability, but just see if you can lift the front of the hip bones, keep the low ribs in, so you're containering this whole part of the abdomen. And then gently, arms can come up, gaze forwards. Breathe in and out. All right. Then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, bow the hands down, place them either side of the left foot, tuck under the right toes, lift the right knee, step back, find a plank position. You might need to adjust slightly, making sure the shoulders are over the wrists, the heels are pressing back, draw the navel up slightly, take a breath or two in and out here. Well done, everyone. Then bend the knees again, take the bottom backwards and up. Let the head hang in between the arms. Soft knees, sit bones high, navel in, maybe chin slightly towards the chest. Remember, the gaze, the focal point in downward dog is actually the navel. So if you are, even if your eyes are closed, imagine that you are looking at your navel. If your eyes are open, see if you can take your gaze in that direction. Okay. So then from here, let's walk the hands towards your feet and allow the upper body to hang down. Soft knees again, maybe hold the opposite elbows, maybe have a little bit of a sway from side to side. See if you can maintain your lovely Saha breath as you remain in a forward fold. Nice and soft, lovely ragdoll position. Okay, and then with ease, gently sort of curl yourself all of the way up towards the seat, towards standing, letting the shoulders roll back maybe a couple of times as you get there. And then feet need to be about hips width apart. Turn your palms forward so they face the top of your mat. You should be facing, I'm turning to the side so you can see me, but you carry on facing along the length of your mat. Tailbone slightly lengthens towards your heels, shoulders back, chin in towards the face, and close your eyes. Find your Saha breath. Sa on the inhale, Ha on the exhale. Keep allowing this breath to soothe you. Soothe your thoughts, soothe the chatter, the mental chatter, the chitta vita. Okay, so then from here, we're going to think about putting the hands onto the hips, and you're going to leave your right foot where it is. So if you listen to the rights and lefts, it'll be all right. I'm going to move the opposite way so that I can see you. So you're going to step back with your left foot far down the mat, so quite a long distance away. And I want you to bring your foot behind your right heel. So left foot behind your right heel. I know that this might seem a bit weird. In fact, maybe I can't remember whether you're mirrored or not, you see. so it's probably best if I mirror you like I would normally do. You're going to take your arms up to shoulder height, and then you're going to reach towards the top of your mat, towards the direction of your right foot. Then your hand's going to come down, and your left hand's going to come up. So we're into a triangle pose here. So we're reaching up through the fingertips, pressing down into the left foot, into the outside edge of the left foot towards the ground. Maybe taking the gaze upwards towards the thumb, maybe not, maybe having the gaze out to the side or even down towards the ground. Just take your time here Gently breathe in and out. Okay, for those that want a stronger practice tonight, cartwheel your top arm slightly closer towards your ear, and then take your bottom arm up too and reach both fingertips away. Reaching, reaching, reaching into the fingers. Try not to let the upper body collapse. Use your tummy muscles, use your core strength. Okay, and then looking down, lowering your bottom arm. Everybody breathing in, coming up to stand, arms horizontal, and then breathing out, hands onto the hips. Bend your right knee and gently step your foot back up towards the top of the mat and stand for a moment in mountain pose. Close your eyes and assess what's going on in the left side of the body. Compare it with the right side. Enjoy. And then leaving your left foot where it is. So I have my back turned towards you. So just bear in mind we're doing the other side. So left foot stays where it is, maybe hands onto the hips and a big long stride back down towards the end of the mat. Legs are going to stay straight here. Make sure that the back toes are turned in slightly. The heel is in line with the instep if you can. Arms up to shoulder height for triangle, and then you're reaching forward. So John, bring your left fingertips towards the camera. That's it. And then hand comes down towards the shin. Right hand goes up towards the sky, and you can breathe into the right hand side of your body. Breathe into the outer right foot. Press into the foot. Make it super long, super spacious. Good job. Keep breathing. Those that want to make it stronger, cartwheel the arm alongside the ear and then lift the bottom arm. It's as though you're trying to clap your hands towards one another, but instead you're making both arms long, just like you were when you were in the lunge position a couple of breaths ago. Breathe into the fingertips, everybody. Create lots of lovely space. Use your core, use your lovely strong legs. Good job, you got this. And then let's inhale, back up to horizontal, back up to arms up. Hands onto the hips, well done. Bend the front knee and step forwards towards the top of your mat. And release your hands down by your sides. Good job. Okay, so let's take this a little bit further. You're going to step your left foot back again, back down to the end of the mat, but this time I want you to go wider apart. So I'd like you to go nice and wide for a Prasvita Padottanasana. You're going to turn your toes in towards one another slightly. You're going to put your hands on your hip creases. Looks like I've got baggy trousers. And you're going to stick your bottom out behind you as you lower yourself down towards the ground. The hands may be going to come to the floor eventually. You could put them on a cushion or a block if you want to. And you can drop your chin towards your chest and allow your head to hang down. Now, if it comes all the way down, you can rest the top of your head on the floor if you want to, but please don't drop any weight into it. And just allow the outer edges of your feet to press into the ground. And think about lifting your sitting bones up behind you and internally rotating your thighs. So think about the top of the thighs as though you're trying to turn them inwards. And in doing so, the sit bones move away from each other. Good job. Take another breath in and another breath out here. And then lift up on the next inhale, just about halfway. So come up onto your fingertips maybe. We're going to gently walk the upper body over towards one side. Doesn't matter which side you go to. But see if you can hold on to your foot, your ankle, your leg, whatever you can reach down towards. And allow yourself to stretch down towards that thigh or towards that shin. That's nice. Very good. Then on your next inhalation, walk your hands gently across towards the other leg. So both hands are coming with you. Both hands are are seeking out the foot, the ankle, the lower leg, and you're encouraging your body to move towards that leg, maybe bending the elbows a little bit so that you can encourage that length and that space. Take another breath in and out. And then come back towards the center. Now, last move. You're going to turn your fingertips out so that they point out behind you. And you're going to walk your hands through your legs and let your upper body hang down. So back into that tilt of the pelvis, the internal rotation of the upper thighs, the moving apart of the sit bones. And all of this, maybe with the chin close towards the chest, find your Saha breath and allow that to the Jalandhara Bandha. So what you're doing by bringing the chin towards the chest is you're creating the throat lock, which is a really lovely way to contain energy within your body. And it's done naturally every time you bring your chin towards your chest, and you'll find yourself maybe breathing in a little bit more deeply through the basket of your ribcage. Okay, let's walk the hands a little bit closer back so that they're underneath your face. And then let's heel toe your feet closer together. Maybe so they're just a little bit wider than your hips. Bend your knees, allow your upper body to hang forwards towards the ground, towards the top of the thighs. Let the knees bend so that it takes any effort, any pressure out of your low back. And then slowly maybe walk the hands up the front of the legs and allow yourself to come upright, come up to stand. Adjust your feet if you need to. Breathe in and take the arms all the way up above your head. Look up towards your thumbs. Take a little bit of a back bend here, just a mild one. And then gently bring the hands down towards your heart. Good job. Okay, now we're going to play around with some tree pose. So it doesn't matter where you are, but if you need a wall to help you out with your balance, or the back of a chair or something like that, please take it. I don't mind what leg you do first of all, but it's really important that you spread out the sole of the foot. So whichever foot you're choosing to stand on first, open up the ball of the foot and drag the heel backwards. And if you are on a carpet or you've got a rug underneath your yoga mat, you might find it better to find a bit more of a solid footing, solid foundation for you to stand upon. Okay, so always maintain a little softness, little tiny micro bend to the standing knee if you can. And then whichever will become your floating leg, turn the knee out to the side and maybe just rest the heel onto the top of the foot. And when you're ready, so those of you that have done tree pose with me recently or with me before, you'll know all these steps. Feel free to come into tree a little bit more quickly if you prefer. Those that are taking it more slowly, you can slide the foot maybe up onto the inner calf, or you can just leave it resting on the top of your foot down at the ground. Those that want to go further can rest the heel into the inner upper thigh. Keep asking the front of the hips to open, just like you did when you were laying down. The arms can then go wherever you want them to be, maybe right above your head. Maybe you have your hands in front of your heart. I don't mind what you do, just stay there. See if you can keep in the pose for a little bit longer. Well done, just checking up on you all, beautiful. I can see you, Becky, now. Sorry, I'm going to distract you. Hi. Then if you want to take a little bit of a side bend here, I would like you to gently lean towards your bent knee, towards your floating leg. So take your time and just see if you can put some space all the way down into the side of your body. Just find that lovely balance. Good job. Then come back upright. Oh, sorry. And then bring your knee forwards, lower your arms, and shake it out of your standing leg. Superb. Let's do the other side. Let's spread out the toes on the other foot. Drag the heel backwards. Find a really nice firm foundation. Heel rests on the top of the foot. Lift the toes. Find your balance, find your center of gravity. Try to maintain a sort of upright, lengthened lift to the side of the body that you're relying on for your balance. The foot can go higher up whenever you want it to. Just find a firm, solid foundation for it to rest on. Hands can be wherever you would like them to be. Your choice, this is your practice. And the thing is here, see if you can find that Saha breath here. And breathing into the diaphragm, feeling the diaphragm working for you here whilst you're in. Quite a challenging, if you like, balance. It's having to think about a lot. Those that want to take a side bend, just take your time, go into it slowly. Obviously, you're going to have to change your shape. You can probably see what you look like a little bit more on the screen. Reach into the side of your body you're leaning away from. Good job. And then coming back upright. Try to bring the knee forwards and lower the leg down, lower the arms. Excellent, shake it out. Good job, everybody. Okay, if you need a little bit of a drink, grab one now. And then I'd like you to come and lay on your tummy, please, if you don't mind. So I know that means I'm not going to be able maybe to see all of you. Don't panic, don't worry. All right. Beautiful. And then, so yeah, come and have a lay on your tummy, a lay on your front. Beg your pardon, everybody. And then we are going to do a little bit of Shalabhasana here. So again, we'll do this in stages, but feel free to make it stronger if you want to, or back out of it if you don't. Option one is to have the hands down by your sides. Option number two is to have the hands, the fingers linked behind the back of the body and to roll the shoulders backwards like I am doing now. Option three is to bring the arms out in front of you. This is slightly more challenging because it makes your body longer, so it's more heavy to lift. You're going to do maybe 5 of these. And as you breathe in, you're going to lift your legs and your upper body, your arms. And as you breathe out, you're coming down. So I want you to do this a couple more times. So breathing in to come up and breathing out to come down. Now the challenge here is, can you find your Saha breath when you're maybe compromising the space on the abdomen to breathe, or you're working a little bit harder here? I want you to firm your inner thighs, please. I'd like you to move your legs, your ankles a little bit closer towards one another. And I'd really like you to firm the back of the legs. So work the back of the legs as strongly as you can as you lift up. Come down with control as you breathe out. And maybe do one more where you stay up this time. So breathing in and gently staying there. See if you can invite some of those Saha breaths in and out. Very nice. And then gently relax down. Maybe make a pillow for your forehead to rest upon. Close your eyes. Wiggle your hips from side to side as you softly allow your lower back to release. Okay, so then let's pop the hands underneath the shoulders. I'd like you to Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, can you hear me? Yeah, my screen just muted. I don't know why. That was a bit weird. Let's pin this again. Very strange. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. A little bit of a technical glitch there in the middle of all of that. Okay, so we're going to sit now with the legs out straight in front of you, please. So it might be better to sit sideways on your mat to allow you the space. You're going to take your feet wide into an Upper Vista Konasana. So that's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to find a nice wide position with your legs. You might want to sit on something. You might want to use your strap here. Okay, so then what I'd like you to do is take your hands slightly behind you and move your sit bones backwards. And by doing that, I want you to find yourself sitting on the front of your sit bones. So basically, legs open into a V, heels on the ground, toes high up in the air, sitting towards the front of your sit bones to allow you to be able to tilt your pelvis. Then make your fingertips like tripods. These are my tripod fingers. And I want you to walk your tripod fingertips away from you. So this means you're keeping your wrists away from the floor. Drop your chin towards your chest. Keep inching the fingertips away from you, but not so that you're unable to breathe. Some of you will come down quite close towards the ground. Some of you might not come down very far at all. I want you to protect your lower back. I'd like you to keep your knees bent if you need to. And if you have got any unwanted sensation, maybe sciatic sensation or lower back issues, I want you to keep the lower back fairly upright and make sure that you are just tilting your pelvis and not trying to strain your back by flexing the spine forwards too deeply or more deeply than it's ready to go. Those that are here and are comfortable, breathe. Breathe with your chin close towards your chest, so you're taking the Jalandhar Bandha again, this throat lock, and the Sa, Ha breath. Just breathe in and out. And take 2 more breaths. Then, when you're ready to take the next inhalation, just walk the hands a little bit closer towards you, but don't lift up completely. And then take your tripod fingers across towards one leg. Now, maybe the hands come either side of the leg. Maybe you use your strap here to loop it around the foot and use that to help you lengthen your body towards this thigh. Maybe you're holding, maybe you can link your fingers and hook them around the back of the leg. Make sure this sit bone with the opposite sit bone stays close to the floor because it will want to roll away from it. And allow yourself to lengthen towards that straight leg. Okay, so don't force the body down. Just breathe gently, breathe into your own natural ability and create that lovely space. Lovely stuff. Take one more lovely breath here, Saha breath. And then on the inhalation, lifting slightly, use your tummy muscles to kind of control that lift. Walk your tripod fingers over towards the other leg and easing yourself down towards it when you're ready. Encourage the shoulders to relax. Allow the upper body to soften slightly. You can draw the navel in. You might find that gives you a little bit more length towards the leg. But don't force, don't strain. Certainly just move with your breath. The breath should be fairly easy, fairly rhythmical, fairly even. And the Saha element of it will be very soothing. All right. So taking an inhale when you're ready, lifting up, walking back towards the center, and then coming upright. Very nice. fingertips behind you onto the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the front of the chest, lift the sternum, roll the shoulder blades backwards. Let the chin lift slightly. And then you can gently come back to an upright position. Maybe give the inner thighs a rub and ease the legs just a little bit closer in. And you might just want to sit for a moment with the legs out straight in front of you. Maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle, maybe move them around a little bit if they need to. Okay, so we're going to sort of draw, before we come down to lie, so we're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. And this is very lovely because it is very balancing for the body. It's very, very soothing. So grab an extra layer if you need one, because we're going to come from this straight into Shavasana, straight into lying down. So if you want to sit on something, then go for it. If you need a cushion or a blanket for your Shavasana, have it somewhere close by. If you want to dim the lights for your Shavasana, do that now. And whilst I will never ever, take away from the benefits of Shavasana, I'm very aware of the tendency, and I've had it already, where people have fallen asleep and I have ended the meeting without saying goodbye to certain people because they've been flat out on their mats, having a nice rest, a nice nap. So please, if that happens to you tonight, don't panic. But what's really, really important to remember is that if you completely nod off, you might not get back to sleep. So do your best to either keep your Shavasana short or to not drift off. Okay, so alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana is wonderful because it just clears the face. It is so super lovely for the mind. And it's very nourishing for the energies of the body. However, it can be tiring, so you might want to support your elbow with one hand, and you're going to either take your 2-piece fingers and you're going to rest them on your third eye, and then you can use your thumb and your ring finger to close the nostrils, or you can just do it any way you like, but that's kind of quite a traditional way to do it. So you've got your fingers on your third eye center. So whichever hand you're using, it doesn't matter, but we always start with the right side, right nostrils. So just close your eyes for a moment, relax your hands, don't worry about where they are for the moment, and just take 3 or 4 Saha breaths. So you get back into breathing, sitting, being comfortable. Find your lovely Saha breath, because you can use this throughout Nadi Shodhana. And I would thoroughly recommend you practice this regularly. And you can do this for 5 minutes at a time as your practice develops, even taking up to 10 minutes if you really wanted to. For tonight's practice, we're just going to take a couple of minutes to do this. Okay, so now bringing your fingers up towards your face, supporting your elbow if you need to, and you are going to start by breathing in through both nostrils. Then close your left nostril with your finger and breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right. Close the right nostril, open the left, and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Close it. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close it. Breathe out through the left. And keep going, breathing in and out. Keep the Soha rhythm to your breath. And alternating the closing and the opening of the nostrils from side to side. Please don't worry if you get lost. Please don't worry if you haven't practiced this in a long time. The most important thing you can do is the sa and the ha. Find your ujjayi breath. Keep the breathing as even as you can. Don't strain or force any of the breaths. For those of you with a more accomplished practice, you can take a little bit of breath retention after the inhalation, so you can hold the breath for a little moment. I wouldn't hold the breath, however, if you have high or low blood pressure, or if it makes you feel dizzy. Good job. Do this for a couple more rounds, please. And then the next time that you breathe out through the right nostril, after that's happened, release your hands into your lap and allow your breathing to return to normal. You can continue the Saha breath if you like. Maybe notice whatever there is to notice. And then, without disturbing yourself too much, I'd like you to come down to lie down, please. Whether you lie out flat or whether you lie with your knees bent, I don't mind. Just adapt to a position that is comfortable for you. If you know that you are going to fall asleep in Shavasana and you don't want that to happen, just stay seated with me. Good job. So find a really lovely, comfortable position in which you can rest. If you're sitting, find a seated position that allows you to become calm and to let your focus, your gaze move inwardly. Those that are lying down, encourage your feet to be a little bit wider apart than your hips are, and let your toes roll out to the sides. Feel the back of your body starting to give up its resistance. And noticing all those lovely, beautifully strong and capable bony structures sinking into the mat. As though for just the next few moments, they don't have to concentrate on working hard to hold you upright anymore. You can give yourself permission to relax completely. The back of your head feels heavy. And when you completely relax the head and release the weight of it into the floor, notice that the neck muscles also soften and that the jaw begins to slacken. Let go of any expression you may be holding on your face. There's no one here to see what you look like. So you can allow your facial muscles to completely release. The expression on your face slowly melting into a nothingness. The skin across your forehead is smoothing. The space between your eyebrows, your third eye center, is expanding. And behind your lightly closed eyelids, your eyes are sinking into the back of your skull. Your gaze is soft even behind your eyelids. You may take a scan of your body, noticing its spaciousness, its lightness. Enjoying being present, being aware how your body has worked for you tonight. Any areas of your body experiencing any tenderness or tightness, restriction, discomfort. Direct your breath now into these areas and allow the prana that is carried with your breath to soothe and nourish. And then allow any mental awareness to dissolve completely. And for the next few moments, just lie peacefully, enjoying the stillness and the space. All right, so I'd like you to bring your awareness back into your room. And invite some deeper breaths in as you begin to prepare your body to move. Be aware of your fingers and your toes. And start to move them around gently. And maybe turn your head from side to side. Those that wish to can take a nice big stretch out or begin to move in any way that feels good. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees and gently roll yourself over towards one side. And you can come back up. Very nice. Welcome back. Good job, everybody. So sit comfortably, doesn't matter how you sit, we'll finish the practice together. Taking your hands down towards the floor by your sides. When you're ready, take a breath in and sweep your hands all the way up. Palms come together above your head, and then exhale down towards your heart. Let your hands rest there and gently close your eyes. And this time, allow the head to bow forwards, but with no other intention other than quietening the mind and bowing the head in reverence to your heart. Take a breath or two in here and enjoy this lovely, calm and still peaceful place that you have created within yourself. Your job now is to maintain this and to share it with the others in your world. When you're ready, take another breath in, gently open the eyes, lift the hands slightly towards the forehead if you wish. And as you breathe out, we'll bow down and share namaste. Good job. Good job, everybody. Super good practice tonight. I'm going to just scoop over to here so that I can take you all off of this. All right. So it is lovely as ever to share the practice with you. I hope that you have enjoyed it. And thank you so much for spending the time with me, coming on. So next practice is Thursday morning, if you want an early before work 8 o'clock practice. And then there's another one in the evening, 8:30 till 9:30-ish. It might run over slightly, you know what I'm like. And that will be a yin yoga. So we will do yin every week. I think that yin is going to be very good, very nourishing for us. And then a slightly stronger practice on Saturday mornings if you want more of a flowy type practice, and then another yin practice on Sundays. But you've all got this information because I've emailed you. Anyway, have a lovely evening. If you want to ask me any questions, just hang around and ask me. But if not, you're welcome to log off. And lots of
Bye. 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 Bye.